I'm Christine Lisi. Patriots receiver Stephon Diggs is facing a felony charge of strangulation and a misdemeanor charge of assault from an alleged incident on December 2nd. Diggs categorically denied the allegations. Diggs' brother, cornerback Trayvon Diggs, released by the Cowboys due to what the team said was a culmination of events, including performance. He'll go on waivers. Optimism from the Steelers that pass rusher T.J. Watt will be able to return from a partially collapsed lung Sunday night against the Ravens. Winner of that game claims the AFC North and 4 seed for the playoffs. There's been a lot of chatter going on that the losing coach of that game will be fired. Pro Football Hall of Famer Rod Woodson disagrees.
I mean, the one thing I like about the Steelers, the one thing I like about the Ravens, that they don't listen to the outside noise. I mean, if John Harbaugh loses this game, do you fire John Harbaugh? No. Mike Tomlin loses this game. Do you fire Mike Tomlin? No.
Rod Woodson on The Rich Eisen Show. NBA Nuggets superstar center Nikola Jokic out at least 4 weeks with a hyperextended left knee. He also has a bone bruise in that knee.
Hey, it's Courtney Cronin. Coming up on Wednesday on Unsportsmanlike, coaches' seats around the NFL are heating up. Who should be most concerned heading into Week 18? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Off and running, welcome in. AFR here on a Tuesday, presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Musso in for Moscona, Taylor Sharp and Paul O'Neill along for the ride, and we're fired up to have you along for the ride here as well. We're getting set to send you into the new year. Our final day here before 2026 on AFR will be off Wednesday, Thursday, back for the transfer portal on Friday, and we have plenty of transfer portal talk to get to today. Shea Dixon is going to join us in the next segment to talk all things portal and what to expect as it officially opens on January the 2nd. College football playoffs quarterfinals start tomorrow. Pete Fiutak will be here in hour 3 to preview that. And I mean, yeah, the LSU hoops team, they got a win. Saints in the news again here today as well. Ton to do. So we're going to go ahead and get started as we do every single day.
On another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
And we'll start with some transfer portal news of such here to open the show. The Sugar Bowl, obviously, between Georgia and Ole Miss, college football playoff quarterfinal. That is on New Year's Day, the nightcap on ESPN New Year's Day. And in the days leading up to that, you have Media Day for both teams. Ole Miss took their turn, Sugar Bowl Media Day here on Tuesday. Trinidad Chambliss sat down with a gaggle of reporters. Ross Dellinger was one of those. He's in New Orleans covering the Sugar Bowl. And Trinidad Chambliss was asked a bunch of different things you might imagine, some having to do with the game, some not. And that's really where our conversation comes in, is the some not having to do with the game. Trinidad Chambliss was asked point blank, and forgive me, I hunted this audio down today and just could not find it, so we'll pass along the quote verbally. Trinidad Chambliss was asked point blank if he had communicated with Lane Kiffin. Obviously, there is plenty of wonder about Trinidad's future, whether it be at Ole Miss, if he can secure a waiver, or does he enter the transfer portal and follow Lane Kiffin to LSU? So he was asked point blank if he had had communication with Lane Kiffin. He said he had not had any communication with Lane Kiffin and added, quote, "I don't think that's even allowed right now," which is just such a perfect, correct answer from Trinidad Chambliss. I mean, that's exactly how you draw it up, and it's the right answer, and he's correct. It's not allowed because the portal isn't open, and tampering and all of those things are strictly forbidden. Here's the thing. There are multiple obstacles in the way of a Trinidad Chambliss transfer that I want to talk about. But let's let's just address the elephant in the room that would be potentially tampering. There are many ways for conversations to happen, whether it's agents with representation of the school, whether it's agents with other people around the program, collect things. There are ways. Y'all, Ross Dellinger had a piece up at Yahoo Sports today where Ole Miss, people around Ole Miss are worried that tampering already is afoot because if you haven't noticed, if you've just been living under a rock, there's 6 LSU assistants coaching that team right now. And they have current incoming Ole Miss assistants and or the retaining assistants sitting in on meetings, per Deli's reporting, sitting in on meetings with the LSU staff members who are coaching Ole Miss and those players to prevent things of that nature. So while Trinidad Chambliss says he hasn't had any contact with Lane Kiffin, you know what, that's probably true, but that's not to say he hasn't had any contact with anyone else affiliated with LSU, or his agent hasn't, or any other school for that matter. This is not just a strictly LSU deal. It's just the school he's going to be most linked to because, well, that's where his head coach and offensive coordinator ended up, who discovered him on Twitter out of D2 Ferris State, brought him to Ole Miss. You had an injury to Austin Simmons, and voila, Trinidad Chambliss, the astounding reveal, the just fantastic season, the breakout that he's had happened. Now, there are 2 major hurdles that would have to be cleared if Trinidad Chambliss is to end up at LSU. Not to say that they can't be cleared. Of course they can. Any hurdle can be. But first and foremost, he has to get this waiver. And y'all, this has been a long, drawn-out process, as it normally is with the NCAA. But even around it, it was always complicated, and it was never a sure thing. And you'll remember, back leading into the Egg Bowl, so this is a month ago, literally a month ago. It's December 30th. The Egg Bowl was the 29th. So a month ago, leading into that game, Trinidad Chambliss was asked about the waiver and the eligibility, and he said that he was expecting to hear back as soon as that weekend. Clearly hasn't. Why is it complicated? A quick cliff notes of it if you're not up to speed. Trinidad Chambliss came from Division II Ferris State, where he was at Ferris State for 4 seasons. He, what you would call now, redshirted in 2021, served as the backup, and then played in 24. That led him to be discovered, and now he's at Ole Miss. That's 5. And I say you would say redshirted in 2021 because a redshirt rule was not introduced in Division II until this season. You have 5 to play 4. You had 4 there. You have your 5th now at Ole Miss. That's why this gets complicated. That's why a waiver is not guaranteed for a 6th year of eligibility. There was no injury. There was none of that. We'll see what they ultimately decide to do. I mean, if you want just my opinion, I don't think he gets a waiver off of that. That's just my opinion. And if there's no waiver, there's no reason to have this conversation. It doesn't matter if Lane Kiffin's talked to him or not at that point, because he doesn't have any more eligibility. And I say Lane Kiffin, understand, I mean, his representation, talking to any representation at LSU, blah, 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 any of that, it doesn't matter because he didn't have any eligibility left at that point. The other part of this is, let's say he does get the waiver. And it's not to say that LSU couldn't pry him away from Ole Miss. Of course they could. He could very well be loyal to his coaches, Charlie Weiss Jr., Lane Kiffin, more than he is to that school, more than he is to money, more than he is to any of that. That does happen in college athletics today. As hard as it is for some people to believe, there is still loyalty in this game. Might be few and far between, but there is still some loyalty in the game. But you got to be absolutely outside your mind if you think that he would just be allowed to walk right out of Oxford and into Baton Rouge and play for Lane Kiffin. Ole Miss would be spending whatever it is required to spend to prevent that from happening. And it's not to say, I know many would be, oh, LSU can match. They got a blank checkbook right now. They're throwing money around left and right. And you're right, they do. They do. But LSU's not in the desperation spot that an Ole Miss would be in that situation. They're already going to lose players to LSU. Like that is going to happen. When the portal opens on January the 2nd, if Ole Miss loses to Georgia like many expect, and the portal opens on Friday, there will be players entering and going to LSU, and there might be LSU players entering and going to Ole Miss. There's going to be some player swaps. There's enough turnover between the staffs, enough exchange between the staffs, that's going to happen. But there's two that Ole Miss is going to look at and say, we cannot afford to lose at any cost by any means necessary, and that's Trinidad Chambliss and Kejuan Lacey. They can leave. They can't go to LSU. And there's going to be people there that do whatever it takes. And at some point, maybe the price gets too high and you just move on. Because there's other great quarterbacks that are already in the portal that you could be working on. And then the other factor in this is, what if Ole Miss upsets Georgia? That just delays the process even more. You don't want to miss out on other QBs in the portal like a Sam Levitt, like a Brendan Sorsby, like a Deuce Knight, who just went in the portal from Auburn today. It's a complicated deal with hurdles to clear. But there's definitely interest there. Why wouldn't there be? Look at the success you just had. He answered the question right, though. And I'm sure he hasn't had any discussions with Lane Kiffin. Lane's not going to put himself in that position to be culpable for that. He's smarter than that. He's better in the portal than that. This is where he builds rosters. But we'll see. We'll certainly see how that goes. I'm just saying there's many more hurdles to where I don't even really think it matters if there's been communication between Trinidad Chambliss representation and representation from LSU or the school or anyone affiliated with the program. As of now, he's not even eligible for 2026. But it's a question you have to ask, and credit to him. He answered it the right way. We'll see how it all plays out. That saga is far from over, and as I said, there will be swaps between LSU and Ole Miss when the portal opens on January the 2nd, especially if Ole Miss drops this Sugar Bowl against Georgia on New Year's Day. All right, we're going to grab a break. We'll come back. On the other side, we will get our full comprehensive update and preview of what to expect when the portal opens on January 2nd from Shea Dixon of On3 Sports. That's next here on AFR.
AFR.
Let's Rev, R-E-V, letsrev.com, letsrev.com. You ever just get super frustrated at super slow internet? Oh, we've all been there, man. A little spinning wheel, slamming your keyboard or your mouse, pounding the desk because it's so frustrating. Your internet's so slow. Storm comes, knocks the power out, knocks the internet out, knocks the cable out. You're so frustrated. Maybe that's just me because I get kind of angry about things. But it's annoying. Nobody wants that to happen. Rev can help. They're local and 5 gigs, lightning fast speeds, and backed by an all-fiber network. Fiber. It's buried under the ground. I mean, you don't have to worry about a storm coming knocking the power lines down. Let's Rev. Listen, more than 70,000 Louisiana homeowners and business owners trust Rev. You should as well. REV. 90 years of local experience. LetsRev.com. LetsRev.com.
Trust isn't given. It's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
All right, back here after further review on a Tuesday, presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Musso in for Moscona. Transfer portal, it officially opens on Friday, January the 2nd. This is really our last time, given the New Year's holiday, to talk about it and what we are going to expect when it does officially open, which is, probably chaos. But, we've come to expect that in college football. Shea Dixon joins us on 3, the Bengal Tiger, on Twitter at Shea Dixon, in his weekly spot to break it all down. Shady, Happy New Year. How are you?
Yes, happy holidays, happy New Year coming up. Doing well. This is, as you noted, come January 2nd, it is all hell breaks loose, or heaven breaks loose, however you want to say it, as this LSU roster gets rebuilt. And Moose, I'll tell you behind the scenes, yes, look, the LSU offensive staff is still coaching an Ole Miss team. It's in the playoffs, but Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock, the new GM, are very hard at work with retention, with who they're going after in the portal, quarterbacks, all of that sort of stuff. And obviously, the defensive staff is still in place. So there's a reason we've seen a lot more buzz on the offensive side than the defense when it comes to guys transferring out and all of that.
Hey, Shea, I want to get into all of it with you, retention, target, like everything to expect. But I think a good starting point is numbers. What is LSU? There's, correct me if I'm wrong, I think 16, 17 in the portal right now from LSU. And how many more could you expect? How many more also are they looking to bring in?
Yeah, before we even started with any of this, I had kind of set the over-under at 20. I really thought that 20 in, 20 out, if not more. And as you noted, 16 scholarship players right now have chosen to at least intend to enter the portal on January 2nd. So getting over the number 20, that's not very hard. Definitely 4 more guys. So I do think they'll eclipse that number, and it's a mix of natural attrition. I won't be surprised if a name or two that is announced they will enter the portal maybe ultimately does come back and withdraw their name and returns to LSU. And on the flip side, and look, they can't host kids or anything like that until January 2nd. But I would also think that the number is going to be close to 20 just because you've got a new coach, you've got a new offensive staff, you've got evals there going on. We've already seen the amount of players nearing 20 that are planning to leave. Also, in the NFL draft, you're going to lose guys for that. And you've just got to be able to rebuild this roster. And then you're doing it with, a head coach in Lane Kiffin who toss out all the head coaches out there who have embraced the portal era. Kiffin's probably one, if not 1A, or however you want to list it. And because of that, I think that the number of guys that they want to bring in, you would have to expect to be a big one. So we talked about it. You, myself, and Charlie over the weekend. Yeah. But my over/under was set at 20, and Charlie quickly said that I've bankrupted now the casino that I run because it's safe to bet at this point that the over is going to hit on both those.
Let's start with retention of the roster. Let's move there next. You mentioned the 16 players in there. At least their intentions is the way that you put it, and I think, especially when you look at maybe the offensive line and 6 linemen in there, but which players are maybe the ones to really watch who are considering a return to LSU even though they've entered the portal?
I would say of the guys who have entered the portal, the one that I've heard buzz around the past 2 days has been Tyree Adams. And look, Tyree was recruited by Ole Miss coming out, so he's familiar. That staff's familiar with him. LSU, obviously, has had him on campus, and he was the starter at left tackle for 8 games before he got injured. And that's someone they have been trying to keep. And now, look, one day kind of sources say, hey, look, things are trending up. The next day is, I don't know, this could go either way. So we'll see. But that's the name that I continue to hear buzz around. I'm not saying he's the only one, but look, Cohen Eccles and Mabenga went in. Those were your guards, basically both your left guards for the past couple of seasons. Did they try there? Or do they have plans for the portal there? But again, when you talk about guys who went in, I think Kern was the one that made kind of the biggest splash because he was a 5-star freshman, had just started playing, showed obvious promise. He was ranked as a 5-star for a reason, but the buzz I've gotten is that it's more likely that he heads elsewhere than returns. Now, look, that can change, but again, Corey Williams, all these other guys, we'll see. I just do think that the one to kind of pay attention to, at least day to day, so today would be Tyree Adams.
Everybody's going to be curious about Harlem Berry. Obviously, Frank Wilson goes over to Ole Miss, the associate head coach, running backs coach for Pete Golding. Now, obviously recruited Harlem Berry, has a great relationship with the family. Berry, I know, obviously met with new running backs coach Kevin Smith and Billy Glasscock here about a week or so ago. What can you tell us about the latest with Harlem Berry?
Yeah, I mean, the Berry camp in Harlem have been quiet, and that's the way to do this. Try not to drum up too much speculation, given, look, he's on roster. This is where he wanted to go, but at the same time, his position coach was Frank Wilson, and Frank Wilson's now at Ole Miss. So, as you noted, get him in front of LSU's new running back coach, Kevin Smith, who had been at Ole Miss. And I think that all of the dialogue around Ole Miss running back Keelan Lacey, who was great for the Rebels this season, they're still playing, has been, well, what does he do? Does he follow Lane and Kevin Smith in this offense to LSU? We don't know that answer yet, but we do know this answer. LSU has to have more than one running back, and they're down to 2 scholarship running backs. And before even any of the speculation kind of really heated up, I said, if Frank Wilson ends up at Ole Miss, I would lean more like if one guy who's from the 2 scholarship running backs were to then end up in an Ole Miss uniform, I leaned Caden Durham more than I leaned Harlem Berry. I just think that what Lane and this offense and Charlie Weiss and Kevin Smith, all of them can pitch to Harlem about how he would be used and utilizing this offense is something that the family is very, very much listening to. And you think about it, ultimately, yeah, Harlem was a 5-star, number 1 running back, freshman. You're moving into next year where he's got 2 years left. This is a kid who probably will go pro after 3 years of college football because he's that good. We ranked him number one because of his ability, not just carrying the football, but he was the most dynamic pass catcher coming out of high school in the country. It wasn't close. He was catching Jamal Charles comps, Reggie Bush comps. I mean, he's that type of player. And we didn't see that here. They didn't really throw him the ball at all. And I can tell you that's one thing that's been discussed is, hey, look, we'll be throwing you the ball, not just handing it to you. So kind of rounding out his game completely is something that is big for him as you prep for not just the rest of your college career, but what is going to be an NFL career. So I am still in the camp. I have not heard anything that leads me to believe that there's no chance Harlem's following Frank Wilson to Ole Miss, any of that. In fact, it seems to me, just from conversations I've had, that I would put him in the very upper echelon of guys that they've sat down and had long conversations with, whether it be with Harlem, his family, his representation, of, hey, look, this is the best spot for you, here's the plans. And we know, because it's been a very front and center talking point, that LSU's raised a good bit of money here on the NIL side beyond rev share. And I think so many people often tie that news to the portal, right? Like, oh, they're going to go spend this money in the portal. Well, you also have to retain players. And I think that's where guys like Harlem come into this, where point being, if it becomes a thing where, hey, there's an NIL package and rev share and playing time being offered at Ole Miss, that's being offered at LSU as well, if not at a higher level. So I'm nowhere close to hitting a panic button on Harlem Berry just yet.
Shea, I want to get to Michael Van Buren and his future in the quarterback position, but you mentioned it right off the top. I mean, it's all off. The focus is mainly on the offense because, I mean, that's where your turnover is on the staff and whatnot. So Harlem Berry in that upper echelon, the other players in that upper echelon they're trying to keep, they feel good there. What's the latest you can tell us about maybe some of those, dealer's choice?
Yeah, I think one guy that, given the 6 linemen who have transferred, have all started games, that plan to transfer, have all started games before. And yes, it was the weak point of the team this year, but still a big number.
Yeah.
Now, it can be argued, and probably pretty easily, that your best O-lineman was Braylon Moore. A month ago, everyone just thought Braylon Moore was going pro. Mm-hmm. He hasn't said that yet, and the reason being is behind the scenes, that's the O-lineman they have been working hard to keep. So it's not a transfer portal discussion. He's in his side. He's got a year left to play. It's NFL draft or it's LSU. But if they were able to pull that one off, that would be massive because you've got your center back, and then you can build around it with whatever other pieces, whether returners or portal guys. But he's proven himself as a very, very good player. Now, I think you could probably break down the remaining guys in groups, given whether you love Trinidad Green, you've got to keep him, right? Like, there's no way you want to let Trinidad Green go anywhere. And at the same time, Trinidad Green will be a junior next year. He's got 1 year left. He's going to go pro. Yeah. And if not, we'd be floored, right? Mm-hmm. Then you've got the Harlem Berries and DJ Pickett, so have multiple years left. So, that factors in to the whole debate. But I was writing down before we went on the show, Moose, of guys that I went through all my notes from speaking with sources and just kind of looking at things and feeling it out. And the 3 that I just mentioned, Tradez, Harlem, Moore, Pickett, and I'll throw Cooley in there, who, it's very A.J. Halsey and at safety, obviously stole a lot of the headlines, and Delane did at cornerback, but getting back Pickett, getting back Cooley, getting back Woodland would all be very key, and that's something that they feel that they can do and get across the finish line. And I don't mean to skip over Whitney here, but I think we're at a point where just the injury kind of prevents him from viewing this, I would think, as the best time to, hey, I'm going pro, but I just came off of an injury. How long does that last? How does it affect my draft prep? And now one more year of healthy football would skyrocket him up draft board. So I don't mean to skip over him. I'm just kind of talking about guys that people have kind of asked about and inquired about. And that group is the one, when you look at the team and you say, you don't want to lose guys, those kind of 6-7 guys come to the forefront of the discussion.
Talking with Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. You can get him on Twitter X at Shea Dixon. Shea, I have a couple more for you. Very much appreciate your time. All right, Michael Van Buren, after the Texas Bowl, made it known again that he would like to stay in Baton Rouge, that he's had conversations with Lane Kiffin and the staff, and everything's good right now. I think most people look at this and go, well, LSU still needs a starting quarterback. I'll pose it to you this way. If Michael Van Buren stays at LSU and doesn't enter the portal, what does the quarterback room look like in 2026?
Yeah, that's the big unknown. But the reality, I think, is he's in a situation that's pretty easy to understand. He signed with Mississippi State. He knew he was going to be the backup until all of a sudden State starter got hurt, and he started double-digit games. Well, he came to LSU as a sophomore, transfers in, and he's the heir apparent to Nussmeier, right? That was the Brian Kelly staff's view that, hey, here's a guy who can help us out in a pinch if we get there, which it happened. He started 5 games when ultimately Nuss's injury sidelined him following the whole month of November into the bowl game. And now Nuss is going pro, and Hurley's in the portal. And now you've got Van Buren is the only scholarship quarterback on roster. But we've talked about it before. Look at what LSU's doing right now. They're chasing quarterbacks in the portal who are multi-year starters. And if you get one of them, the whole, it's tough to sell, it'll be a quarterback competition. Okay, well, probably not. You would expect that. My guess is LSU starting quarterback isn't on roster. So to take it back to where it's easy to understand, if you're Michael Van Buren and they're saying, hey, look, even here's a good NIL package to be our backup quarterback or compete or whatever it might be, you're sitting there thinking, look, I've started, 16, 17 games for 2 different SEC schools. I'm about to be a junior now, and I still don't know if I'm going to be the starter. Then you wouldn't blame them at all for saying, hey, look, I need to go find somewhere where I am definitely the starter so that I can continue to play and put film out there and all of those things. So while there is, he has not entered the portal, he has not said anything, I think he's probably watching what LSU is going to be doing at quarterback and kind of the buzz there. But I'd be hard-pressed to believe that they end up landing a starting quarterback who's been elsewhere, who's got a bunch of starts and is coveted by many, that Michael Van Buren would say, hey, I'll stick around, right? I'll compete, I'll do whatever. And kudos to him if he does, but I just get the sense that they're going to have to go after a couple of quarterbacks here in the portal, one being the guy you presume to be the starter, another being a younger guy who can say, hey, look, I can come in and be the backup, play if needed, and then take over after whomever comes in, because most of these guys who are at the top of the quarterback kind of wish list for teams in the market for a quarterback are in their final year of eligibility, or could have gone pro. So that's kind of the situation I view, almost like a year ago at Nuss, where the quarterback has 1 year left, I'll transfer in, and maybe I'll be the guy in 2 years.
He is Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Best in the biz on Twitter, X at Shea Dixon, with us every Tuesday here on AFR. Shea, appreciate the time all throughout 2025. We'll do it again in 2026. Obviously, a happy new year, and don't overwork yourself over the next few days with the transfer portal, okay?
I don't even know what day and night is anymore, so that's out of the question.
Thank you, Shea.
Later, Moose. Later.
That is Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Okay. There's a lot. I probably could have talked to Shea for an hour about all of this today. I mean, we could have got into individual quarterbacks that they're targeting. We didn't even talk about wide receiver. I mean, wide receiver is a huge need for LSU in the transfer portal. You're going to have bodies that are going to be very young, obviously, there too. What you brought in this class, you saw freshmen, guys like Teron Francis, saw that on the roster that didn't play this year. So, you have bodies, but you're very young. You need some experience there, obviously, at that position. So, there's just a bunch to get through as Lane Kiffin overhauls this roster, hoping to make a playoff run in 2026. We got to grab a break, but first, a little message from Matt with Arco here.
Love telling you about Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com. That's Arco Power Systems. We talk about generators a lot in Louisiana, especially all along the Gulf Coast, where we're sort of in this storm belt right here in the Gulf Coast. Well, of course, a lot of people have home standby generators. When we talk about Arco Power Systems, these are not home standby generators. This is industrial generator power. This is for your business. I mean, just think about it. When the power goes out, be it a hurricane, an ice storm, snow like we had last year, power goes out. What do you do with your business? Well, being offline is not an option. That's why you need Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com, arco.com. Just look at all the locations. Baton Rouge, Bossier, Harvey, Lake Charles, Mandeville, Mobile, LaPorte, Texas, San Antonio, Little Rock, Houston, Dallas. They're everywhere. So if you're a business and you need standby power for your business, you need Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com, arco.com.
All right, we're late for a break, so we're going to grab that. We'll come back on the other side. We'll go around the SEC. Still have a quick thought on LSU hoops closing out the non-conference slate with a big win over Southern Miss on Monday night, so we'll get to that as well as we continue here in hour number 1 of AFR, presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
AFR.
Love telling you about our friends over at Duplessis Builders because they're going to build you a beautiful pool. Build you a beautiful outdoor kitchen. They'll give you a 10-year workmanship warranty on their pool builds when the industry standard is 1. Let me say that slowly so you understand. Most pool builders, when they build your pool, they give you a 1-year warranty on their work. 1 year. Duplessis gives you a 10-year workmanship warranty because Derek is an engineer by trade. They take the time to do it right as they go through the process of the pool build. So they're building you something that is going to last, something beautiful that's going to last. You want to know why Duplessis Builders was named a top 50 pool builder in America by Pool & Spa Magazine? Meet with them one time, you'll get it. DuplessisBuilders.net. That beautiful pool, that outdoor kitchen, they can do it all for you. DuplessisBuilders.net.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Brought to you by Parish Construction Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Tell you every day do business with someone you know. That's me and Terrio and Richard Tilley and Joe Morales and Trent Davis and our whole staff. We appreciate everyone so much who's giving us the opportunity. Our commercial roofing manager, Matt Pearson, sent us all a text that we were just awarded a large commercial roofing job today, and they heard us talking about it. Yes, of course, at your home, any roof repair, replacement, we love to help you out. We can install gutters for you. We do soft wash, do all of it. But I want to remind you that we are a commercial roofing company as well. So if your commercial building needs a new roof or repair, you have any issues whatsoever, we have the best guy. We went and scoured the world and found Matt Pearson in Florida, and we brought him to Baton Rouge. I'm convinced there's not a soul alive that knows more about commercial roofing than Matt Pearson. So if your commercial building is having any roof issues, roof repair, replacement, or you just need options, trust me, have a conversation with Matt Pearson. We'd love to help you out. parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com.
All right, rolling along here. Hour number one, AFR, presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Musso in for Moscona. Our last show of 2025. The next time you hear us on your airwaves will be in 2026, and we'll be back with a vengeance on Friday, talking all things transfer portal. That's been the bulk of the first two segments here of the show so far. All right, we're a little bit late, so let's just go ahead and dive right into it, and we'll go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn quarterback Deuce Knight announced on Tuesday that he plans to enter the transfer portal when it opens on January 2nd. Was a 5-star in the class of 2025. Top 30 player, top 5 quarterback in the country. Appeared in 2 games, was redshirted, so he will have 4 years of eligibility at his next stop. Did have 1 start. That was against Mercer. Program record, or I should say, program record for 6 total touchdowns in that game. Was the SEC Freshman of the Week. It's going to be a complete reset now in the Auburn quarterback room as all 3 scholarship QBs are in the portal.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
5 Georgia Bulldogs have been declared out for the Sugar Bowl against Ole Miss. Defensive end Gabe Harris, defensive back Jonell Aguero, and Kyron Jones, center Drew Bobo, and defensive tackle Jordan Hall. Aguero missed the SEC title game with a wrist injury, but was present at Saturday's practice. He was seen with a brace on his wrist, I should say. Started all 12 games for the Bulldogs at the star position before missing the SEC championship. As for center Drew Bobo, he's been in and out of the lineup since the Mississippi State game. Did not play against Alabama in the SEC title game. Colby Young, a wide receiver, and tight end Ethan Barber, they were probable.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Speaking of Ole Miss, Georgia's opponent in the Sugar Bowl, Kejuan Lacey, star running back, was asked on Tuesday his status for the Sugar Bowl. He made a declaration, quote, "I was a full go, didn't have any limitations, I'm ready to go," end quote. They asked of him, followed up, asked, "Would you play?" He said, yes. So Ole Miss, they will have their best running back, one of the best running backs in the country, when they face Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. It was a shoulder injury suffered in the second half in the opening round of the College Football Playoff against Tulane.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Sign of the times in college football. Ryan Williams has shut down speculation that he will enter the transfer portal. He was asked Tuesday at Rose Bowl Media Day if he'll be back at Alabama. Quote, "Of course, I'm Alabama through and through. I have no intentions of being anywhere else." That wasn't good enough, though, so they pressed him, said, "Hey, point blank, are you entering the transfer portal?" Ryan Williams said, and I quote, "Nah." So Ryan Williams, he'll be back at Alabama for his 3rd year in 2026.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
Nah. You leaving? Nah. Ain't going nowhere. Oklahoma center Troy Everett is entering the transfer portal. Veteran offensive lineman. He announced that on social media here on Tuesday. He's going to have a 6th year of eligibility. It's been a tough go of it. It's going to be a medical red shirt. He sustained a season-ending injury in practice after 1 week of the 2025 campaign. It was the 2nd significant injury at OU since he transferred from Appalachian State. The injuries limited him to just 8 starts in his 2 seasons in Norman. There you have it. That is Around the SEC. After further review here on a Tuesday, again, Musso in for Moscona. One thing left to do here in the first hour of the show is we are just flying through it here today. And that's give you a thought. LSU hoops, Matt McMahon, they were big winners over Southern Miss to close out the non-conference. They start conference play on Saturday. Where do they stand in terms of net as they begin the SEC play? Where do they stand in terms of postseason as they begin really the second half of the season as well with conference play, and a few thoughts on the game. We'll do all of that to wrap up hour number 1 here of AFR, presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Yes, hormone replacement therapy. Yes, NAD+. Yes, BPC 157. Yes, ED treatment. The bottom line is, gentlemen, I don't care how old you are, it's about how old you feel, and do you want to feel like you did when you were younger? Do you want to live a more vital life? Do you want to live a more energetic life, where you wake up in the morning, your feet hit the floor, and you're rip-roaring ready to go, where you're motivated to get in the gym, where you have a great libido, where you have great mindset, energy, mental clarity, memory, all that sort of stuff? It's possible. It's affordable. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help you do it. Hormone replacement therapy could be a giant part of that for you. NAD Plus can literally help your cellular optimization to make you younger at a cellular level. BPC 157, tremendous in helping in recovery. Learn more. yourgoodwood.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Christmas is in the rearview mirror, but the celebrations are not over. We are staring straight at New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and our friends at Rouse's are helping you get ready. It's the 4-day sale through New Year's Day with tons of amazing deals on USDA Prime New York Strip, only $12.88 a pound. Fresh Haas avocados, 88 cents for 2 of them. Fresh lump crab meat and so much more. If you want all the deals, you can go to the Rouse's website at rouses.com, or the Rouse's Facebook page, or better yet, just walk into your local Rouse's. They got 70 of them from Lake Charles to Orange Beach and points in between. You know where the one nearest you is. If you don't know, go to the website. You'll find it, rouses.com, rouses.com. New Year's is upon us. Make sure that if you're having a New Year's celebration, you get all the fixins from our friends over at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's, this feels like home.
All right, the LSU men's basketball team, Matt McMahon, they closed out their non-conference slate Monday night in the PMAC with a dominant, and I mean dominant, 90-62 win over Southern Miss. LSU improved to 12-1 overall on the season, completing their 13-game non-conference. Man, I sat here on Monday with a brief thumbnail preview of the game, told you really the one thing that I wanted to see, because you knew LSU would score, and boy, did they, 90 points. Just kind of really what they've done all throughout this pre-conference slate. The one thing I wanted to see was a faster start for them on defense, because when they've struggled, it's teams getting out to the quick start offensively, and boy, they responded in kind there. Southern Miss did not crack double-digit points until the 11:35 mark in the first half of this basketball game. LSU, in fact, taking their defense to the next level with rim protection, blocked 11 shots, 5 of them from Mike and Woko. 11 shots have been blocked from LSU in this ball game. They were awesome on the defensive end, really, really were. Led by 11 at the break. The lead swelled to as many as 23 late in the second half. They were just all over the place. But the star of the show was DJ Thomas. He put on a point guard clinic in this ball game, as he kind of has throughout the season so far. It was his third double-double, 22 points. That tied for the team lead. 12 assists, just 2 turnovers. Fantastic. The 12 assists were a season high for DJ Thomas. He's been awesome, and he's going to have to lead the way for this team as they go into conference play. They're going to go as DJ Thomas goes. That's why you went and got him out of the transfer portal, so you could have a true point guard. And so far through 13 games, it certainly looks like you do. The competition will ratchet up, obviously, when you get into the SEC. But if he can pace you, LSU has a really good shot to make a run to the NCAA tournament here throughout what will be, at points, a really difficult conference slate. It gets started on Saturday at 3 p.m. against Texas A&M in College Station. Obviously, new head coach over there with Bucky McMillan. So see how the Aggies look this go around. LSU, though, as they start the 18-game conference slate now, you look at them and they sit 34th in the net, which is a great place to be. Joe Lunardi released his latest bracketology early this morning. Still has LSU in as one of the last 4 buys as a 10 seed, I should say, heading into the conference slate. So they're in a really, really, really good spot. You want to see the defense continue to improve because, man, it's hard to look at this team and just not expect them to score. I think they have plenty of weapons there. The other interesting thing is going to be Mike and Woko in conference play. Remember, that's a guy who, obviously has experience in this league and at times struggled against SEC opponents. We'll see where that really goes for him this go-round, because he has been a great find for LSU as well. I mean, he's had a dominant run of it in the pre-conference. So for him to be able to really keep it going, him and Mike and Woko and DJ Thomas, I mean, those have really been LSU strengths so far throughout the season. They're going to need to really pace the Tigers as they go through this grind of a conference slate. But they're in as good of a position as you can ask for them to be. Right now, sitting in the NCAA tournament, not comfortably, but LSU's never really going to be comfortably in. They're going to be a bubble team. So it's going to be, it's going to be a fine line for them as they continue throughout SEC play in the rest of this season. But they certainly have the tools and the pieces to make a run at an NCAA tournament appearance. And as we said yesterday, that's the expectation. I mean, admittedly from LSU themselves, the investment wasn't where it needed to be for Matt McMahon in this program. They went out, they invested. The expectation is NCAA tournament or bust. And right now, they're positioned to make a run at that and be in the field come March. We'll see and keep you updated. LSU, Texas A&M to open SEC play on Saturday in College Station. We'll give you a thumbnail preview of that as we get closer when we're back here in the new year. All right, we're going to grab a break. We're going to come back on the other side, Sports Center, to get you caught up on national headlines, and then a look at ESPN's all-rookie team in the NFL. There's some head scratchers.
After further review.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawbillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. They will always find a way to get you the best possible price for the best possible tires on the road. That's what they do at Shawbills. And when they get you in by selling you the best tires, the cheapest price possible, they're going to treat you like family, and they're going to treat you so good you're going to keep coming back year after year after year every time you need anything for your vehicle. Tires rotated, oil changed, check engine light on, brakes squeaking, whatever's wrong with your vehicle, bring it to Shawbills. Let them give it the once-over, and you can always schedule online, so it's convenient. ShawbillsTire.com. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. Shop tires online at ShawbillsTire.com. Be sure to ask about the Shawbills credit card as well, because you can save $50 off your first purchase when you use the Shawbills credit card only at Shawbills.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit LouisianaPropane.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
throws quickly and intercepted at the 35-yard line. Throws deep down the far side, outside the
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
All right, welcome back in. After further review here on a Tuesday, presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I guess there's no Sports Center because of the Music City Bowl, so we'll just get started about a minute and a half early here in this hour. Musso in for Moscona, Taylor Sharp, Paul O'Neill along for the ride. Glad you're along for the ride as well. I would imagine that most of you all who are listening have started your New Year's holiday or just continued your holidays from Christmas. But if you're knocking off work, hopping in your car, we appreciate you making us part of your day as well. If you're spending your time off, your well-earned time off with us, then we really appreciate you because you really don't have to be here right now, but you are, and we thank you. So we got a great rest of the show for you planned here. Pete Fiutak will be here in about an hour and 45 minutes or so. Preview the college football playoff quarterfinals. Of course, those take place New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. 4 great matchups to get into with Pete. Really looking forward to that. Lane Kiffin has added yet another member to his support staff. We have to get to that as well here. And Otter to give us plays for the college football playoff and otterlocks. He'll be here to wrap up the show. So we got a ton left to do here on this Tuesday before we send you into the new year and 2026. Here's where I want to start. There's 1 week to go in the NFL season, Week 18 coming up. You got great playoff races, things of that nature, and a few winner-take-all games for divisions and playoff spots. That'll be sure to be great entertainment. But this is when you start to see, all blank team lists come out, and ESPN took a stab at their all-rookie team. It was Ben Solak, who does a great job. Ben's been on this show before with Matt, as a matter of fact. And the other thing is, we tend to make fun of lists a lot on this show, kind of make it into a bit. But there is some good stuff here that really shows you where the Saints are going forward, maybe what they've hit on in their draft class here in 2025. And then there's one just head scratcher that doesn't make a lot of sense. So let's start there with the head scratcher that doesn't make a lot of sense. Again, this is Ben Solak over at ESPN, his all-rookie team for the NFL. First team quarterback, Cam Ward. Yes, that Cam Ward. The one who just lost to the New Orleans Saints and Tyler Shuck. Yes, that Tyler Shuck, who is most likely going to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year award in the NFL and should, he's the betting favorite. That Tyler Shuck that leads rookie quarterbacks in not one, but 5 different categories in the NFL, is second team to Cam Ward. You can read through Ben Solak's write-ups. I'm not going to read through the entire thing for you. It's long. I'll give you the Cliff Notes. He likes what he's seen more from Cam Ward. The advanced metrics, things of that nature, but the resiliency, the creativity that he's shown, the peak, the high ceiling that he thinks Cam Ward can have, and that's fine. That's great. I like when people give their own opinion, give their own take, and don't just have the same take as everyone else, the same opinion. Oh, it's Tyler Shuck because, it has to be at this point. But also at some point, doesn't it have to be that? Doesn't it have to be that, okay, what you've seen from Tyler Shuck on the field is that he's the best rookie quarterback in this class, and he's proven that through his play in 8 games? Isn't it so jaw-dropping that Tyler Shuck leads all rookie quarterbacks in these categories when he hasn't even played a full season like someone like Cam Ward? Doesn't that kind of matter more at one point? And isn't that point now? I'll read you this from Ben Solak. Shuck became the betting favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year after leading the Saints come from behind win over Ward and Tennessee in Week 17. I kind of get it. The Saints have won their past 4 games, and Shuck has looked better with each passing week. But while I see quality with Shuck, I don't see the sort of jaw-dropping, math-changing potential in Cam Ward. I kind of get it. You kind of get it? Tyler Shuck leads NFL rookie quarterbacks in wins, quarterback rating, completion percentage, 300-yard games. And by the way, he has 2. So no other rookie quarterback has had 2. And fourth quarter game-winning drives. If that's not math-changing, fourth quarter game-winning drives, which he's led 3 in 8 games, by the way, I don't really know what is. Tyler Shuck should be the first-team quarterback on this list. He's not. That's ridiculous. And he's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. No disrespect to Cam Ward. I'm sure he's got a bright future ahead of him. He made some great plays in that game against the Saints. But when you put the total body of work together, this is not close. If you wanted to flip-flop him, fine. It would have been a greater injustice if he left Tyler Shuck off this list in general, but you couldn't do that. But the fact that Tyler Shuck is second team to any other rookie quarterback at this point is laughable, and that's asinine, quite honestly. On to the things he absolutely nailed, because there's plenty of Saints on this list. They're littered throughout, and they should be, and that should just further drive home the excitement for the future, the potential future of this franchise. Kelvin Banks, first team left tackle on this list. Y'all, Kelvin Banks has made 16 starts. He has not missed a game. And he has acquitted himself quite nicely. Solak notes an 87% pass block win rate, as well as a 76% run block win rate. When you go to PFF, Kelvin Banks, in terms of rookie tackles, regardless of snap count, like regardless of minimum snap, like, oh, you have to play 20%. No. I'm looking at a rookie left tackle right here who has played 7 snaps. Regardless of snap count, Kelvin Banks is the highest graded overall rookie left tackle, or rookie tackle, I should say, per Pro Football Focus. He has been awesome. Has he had some rough moments? Sure. The game against the Panthers really stands out, man. Will McDonald wore him out that day, but that's going to happen as a rookie. But when you look at what you've gone through at left tackle for the New Orleans Saints, where you took Trevor Penning in the first round, you have since moved him to right tackle, then guard, and traded him away at the deadline. You take Taliesin Fuanga, who, man, he was fine as a rookie, but you didn't feel like he was your franchise. You move him to right tackle. Now you bring in Banks, again, 9th overall, and it looks like you finally hit highest graded rookie tackle, regardless of snap count, and he lands first team all rookie here from ESPN. That makes a lot of sense. It's where he should be, and he's earned that. You feel really good about the future of that position, and probably your bookend tackles. Now you need to address guard really for the Saints, and probably a succession plan at center here sooner rather than later. We'll see how much longer Eric McCoy has. Of course, the injuries starting to crop up there. On the defensive side, there's plenty to go with as well. Jonas Sanker, should be no surprise that Jonas Sanker lands on this list as the first team all-rookie safety per Ben Solak. 78 tackles, 2 picks, 6 passes defended. Jonas Sanker has played the most snaps of any safety on the Saints team so far this year. And look, he was a guy coming out in the draft that a lot of people in the Saints got him late in round 3. You got to remember, that's their second round 3 pick, right? I mean, they had Vernon Broughton early in round 3. Jonas Sanker was 93rd overall, late day 2 guy. And he was looked at as one of the steals of the draft. And honestly, it's played out that way. It wasn't an easy path to the field for him being a starter. He was going to play early. But, I mean, look, with Tyrann Mathieu retiring early, in the preseason, with Tyrann Mathieu retiring in the preseason, that opened the door for Jonas Sanker to get more playing time. Then obviously the unfortunate injury to Justin Blackmon forced him into the starting lineup, and he's played over 900 snaps and has been very, very, very efficient and a great communicator as well, and really, really good in coverage for the New Orleans Saints so far in his rookie season. So, look, that makes, obviously, a whole bunch of sense to have him there. The other one did catch me by surprise. There's 4 New Orleans Saints on this list, and the other one is also in the Saints secondary, and it's Quincy Riley. And I say caught me by surprise because I just feel like there's been some ups and downs. And you're going to have that with rookies, I understand. But maybe more so than normal, or not normal. Let me put it this way. I feel watching the Saints, watching Quincy Riley, the fluctuations in those up and downs have been more pronounced. The highs have been really good. The lows have been, pretty low with Quincy Riley so far here this season. But all in all, 31 tackles. He's got the pick. He's defended 8 passes. He had to deal with injury early coming in out of Louisville from the draft. Got his first start in week 5. That's when he really burst onto the scene. That first start in week 5 was fantastic for Quincy Riley. And then he's continued to be steady going forward. So you land 4 on this list. And even though Shuck should have been the first teamer and whatever, he landed on the list because you weren't going to keep him off of there. But there was so much talk leading into the draft around the New Orleans Saints about what they were going to do with their 9 picks. There's no way they were going to make all 9 because they never do. They did. They did make all 9. Which was a welcome sign. And the returns so far have been very good. And this is just third-party affirmation, unbiased, national media member telling you that now by having 4 members of a 9-player draft class on his all-rookie team in the NFL. 2 on offense at your franchise positions, by the way, left tackle and quarterback, and 2 on defense in your secondary, which you really needed some help to remake. Because, again, Paulson Adebo, Marshawn Lattimore, they're out the door. You're hoping Kool-Aid McKinstry can be that number 1. Don't know if he can. Doesn't really look like he can be it right now. But Quincy Riley has locked down the other corner position. What's going to happen with Alontae Taylor as he enters free agency in 2026? And Jonas Sanker, obviously, the back end where, man, you've really needed to replace throughout the years guys like Marcus Williams and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And you finally did, potentially with a guy like Jonas Sanker. It's playing out. And that's not even really to say that you don't feel good about Devin Neal before the injury. They're real high on Devin Neal, and he showed flashes. That's another member. You got to see Maliki Matavau at tight end against the Titans this past Sunday. But those 4 have really stood out. And if you hit on 4 out of 9, that's going to be a really good draft class, especially considering 2 of them, Shuck and Banks, are at franchise positions for you at left tackle and at quarterback. So far, so good. There's a long way to go for this draft class. This is just 1 year, but it's a really good start, and it is the reason that you should feel excitement down the stretch of the season with the New Orleans Saints and going forward in a weak division, what they do in this upcoming draft, and those positions solidified in the 25 draft, you could have more money to spend in free agency and make a run at this division and potentially a playoff spot in Kellen Moore's second season. Not saying you're going to win the Super Bowl, not saying you're going to make a deep run in the playoff. You're a long way away from that. But to get there in Kellen Moore's second season, that would be huge. And that's what this run at the end of the year is setting up for, and in large part due to the contributions you're getting from these rookies. There is excitement around this team again. And regardless of what happens Sunday against Atlanta, this has been as strong of a finish to the year as you could have imagined for the New Orleans Saints. And I don't really know that many of us imagined it. All right. Exciting times, man. Exciting times over on Airline Drive down there in Metairie and in New Orleans. And hell, in Louisiana in general. Shout out to the Saints. When we needed an injection of positivity into football season, they came with it, man. Hat tip. Good on the Saints. Good on Kellen Moore. Appreciate that. We need some positivity. All right, we're going to grab a break. We're going to come back. And a couple things to update with LSU. Lane Kiffin's hired another staffer, what it means, what his role might be, and the latest updates surrounding the transfer portal with LSU. It's been kind of quiet here on Tuesday, but we'll just update you on where things stand, maybe revisit and react to some of what Shea Dixon told us as well when he was with us in the first hour. That's next here on After Further Review, presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
AFR.
Brought to you by Glow Resources. If you are a business owner, if you're an HR manager, a VP, an ops manager, if you're the person in charge of hiring at your job, at your place of business, and you're having trouble finding the right people, you need Glow Resources. Now, I want to remind you, Glow Resources, they're exceptional when it comes to skilled blue-collar workers and also white-collar divisions. Remember, Glow Resources has a full professional placement division. So we're talking about office administrators, executive-level assistants, assistant controllers, plant managers, scheduling assistants, basically any type of office job. Accounting, HR, marketing, managerial, supervisor roles. If you're having trouble finding those people and sometimes hard to fill roles, Glow Resources specialize. They recruit nationwide. For example, they had a Baton Rouge company that was looking for an engineer. They found the employee in Florida to work the job in California. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online today. glowresources.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raising Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas.
After Further Review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Always a pleasure to tell you about our friends at the Williamson Eye Center. Check them out online at williamsoneye.com. They've got locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area. on the Baton Rouge General Campus. I mean, you turn off a Bluebonnet onto Picardy, you make that right. And then right there at the stop sign, the building on the right, the first 2 floors, that's the Williamson Eye Center, state-of-the-art dry eye center, and it's full service. Of course, they have their state-of-the-art surgery center there where you can have your LASIK or whatever surgical procedure you're having. But they have your standard annual eye exam as well at the Williamson Eye Center. Learn more at williamsoneye.com. The thing I tell you every day is take the advice that I was given and change your life. To give yourself the gift of sight is absolutely incredible. If you're someone like me who spent your life with contacts or glasses, there is a way to be done with it forever. WilliamsonEye.com. Go see Dr. Blake Williamson for that free consultation. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com for the Williamson Eye Center.
All right, back here after further review on a Tuesday. Musso in for Moscona. Last show of 2025 for us. We'll be back on Friday with all the transfer portal goodness that will come. And by that, we just mean the sheer chaos that will come when the transfer portal officially opens on Friday, January the 2nd. But until then, Lane Kiffin, he's not done adding to his staff. Our very own Matt Moscona, who's supposed to be on vacation, broke this news last night at LouisianaSports.net that Lane Kiffin has added Austin Shelton to the personnel staff, the player personnel staff. Shelton comes to LSU from NC State, where he was the director of player personnel for the Wolfpack the past 2 seasons. That was actually his second stint in Raleigh with the Wolfpack. But this is a Billy Glasscock connection for Austin Shelton coming over. They first crossed paths at NC State when they were both there. They would later work together as well at the University of Texas. Glasscock would go on to Ole Miss, and Shelton would end up back at NC State again, where he spent the previous 2 years. So this is a guy, they have a working relationship. And look, y'all, with everything we've heard, and that's the deal, we haven't got to hear yet from Billy Glasscock. I'm sure that will happen eventually. He's pretty busy right now working behind the scenes. But everything you heard, you know what, I asked Shea this back on the pregame show for the Texas Bowl, just, you know, to give us a little bit of background on Billy Glasscock. Shea said in short, you know, everyone you talk to, and even Shea hadn't really had a chance to, you know, sit down and talk about it, but everyone you talk to, he's the best general manager in college football. That's what everybody says, who's worked with him, who's been around him. So if this is a guy that he trusts and he wants to bring in, by all means, I want to bring in Austin Shelton, and I trust Austin Shelton too. I mean, I think the proof's in the pudding with what Billy Glasscock's been able to do so far in his role. This is a close confidant for him. So Austin Shelton will join LSU staff. Also served time. That makes it sound really bad. He also spent time at Old Dominion, Purdue, Arizona, and Tennessee, as in addition to his time with Billy Glasscock at Texas and NC State. His role and staff title not immediately known. So again, he was the director of player personnel at NC State. Mike Williams is also joining Lane Kiffin's staff. He follows from Ole Miss, where he was the senior director of player personnel. So it would stand to reason that it won't be director of player personnel for Austin Shelton. Jeff Martin, of course, was brought back to LSU in July as the executive director of player personnel. His future not really known yet entirely. A final decision, let's say, not. I mean, he very well could be back at LSU. He could be moving on. Where you could see this really fall is the associate director of player personnel, potentially at LSU or something in that regard, because that position is open with Jay Schutery heading to Ole Miss, returning to Ole Miss, I should say, following Austin Thomas there. That is the position in the player personnel department that is open. But again, that is not set in stone. That is not officially Shelton's title, but that could be, you know, where he ends up when you just piece together, you know, staff positions and things of that nature. But man, look, all for it. And look, there's one player in particular that's in the transfer portal from NC State at a major position of need that obviously has a relationship with Austin Shelton, and that is quarterback C.J. Bailey. C.J. Bailey spent this past season, obviously, at NC State. In fact, he spent the last 2 seasons as a starting quarterback at NC State. He's a sophomore. He has 2 years of eligibility remaining and has been pretty darn good. Made a sizable jump from a freshman to a sophomore year. About 4 points higher in completion percentage. Man, from 2,400 yards passing to 3,100 yards passing, 17 touchdowns to 25, even decreased the interceptions, and he can run the ball a little bit as well. He's got some wiggle to him. So that's a guy, 6'6", 210, great size on C.J. Bailey. Keep an eye on that one now with Austin Shelton coming over. Could that potentially be a target, a big target and a link, obviously, for LSU in the transfer portal as a position of need? As we talked with Shea Dixon in hour number 1, he mentioned it's going to be multiple quarterbacks for LSU in the transfer portal, and that's something that Shea's mentioned each time we've talked to him about this, that you're looking for a starting quarterback and a backup at LSU. Well, that's a guy with 2 years of starting experience right there in C.J. Bailey with a tie to the staff. That could be a path that LSU looks to pursue. And in regards to the multiple quarterback facet of this, you need the numbers, right? Because while, yes, Michael Van Buren says he's had talks with the staffs and everything's good there, we broke that down yesterday, that he'd be coming back to LSU to do what he's already done, to be a backup. I would love to have him because he's got double-digit game starting experience in the Southeastern Conference. That'd be a huge luxury. I don't know if that's something that Michael Van Buren really wants to do. He'll have to wait and see what LSU does. But I'll remind you, don't worry about quarterback depth either. Yes, you have one scholarship guy right now, and that's Michael Van Buren. Lane Kiffin brought in 3 quarterbacks in the portal a year ago at Ole Miss. And that was with an incumbent starter in Austin Simmons. He brought in 3 of them. He'll go get his guys there. But one thing's for sure, you definitely need a starter, and maybe potentially C.J. Bailey is that guy now given the tie with Austin Shelton on staff. We'll keep you updated there. Now, portal update as a whole for LSU. 16 scholarship players. You're looking at north of 20 most likely going to enter the portal for LSU, and that's a lot of it is just natural attrition and staff turnover. But you're up to 16 players. The additions yesterday, later in the day, were linebacker Princeton Malbrew, who played mostly on special teams in his time at LSU. You did see him get some run at the edge position on defense at times, specifically in 2024 when LSU had so many injuries there at that position and whatnot. But it was mainly special teams. So Princeton Malbrew, he'll seek a new opportunity. And then reserve running back Malachi Lane also entered the transfer portal on Monday night for LSU. So, I mean, look, you already only had 2 scholarship running backs. That does not really change. It's just probably best for Malachi Lane. You wish him best of luck, man, in whatever he does in his next destination and in his journey in college football. But for running back, you're really in the same spot as you were with Durham and Harlem Berry as your 2 scholarship backs that you have really, returning given what's happened legally with JT Lindsey. So, you'll see how that shakes out. It was interesting when we did talk with Shea Dixon earlier in the show, and if you missed that, obviously you can find it on demand at AFR On Demand, presented by Brett Goff, YouTube, podcast, all of those things, anywhere you get your podcasts, AFR LSU for YouTube channel. When we talked to Shea, we were asking him about the players in the portal and how Shea phrased it, which begged the question, was the 16 players who have announced their intentions to transfer. So the obvious follow-up there was, okay, well, of those 16 scholarship players, which ones are the biggest candidates to come back? And Shea mentioned a guy that we mentioned yesterday on the show on Monday, and that's Tyree Adams as the guy he's hearing the buzz about most right now is potentially returning, that LSU wants to return. He was recruited by Lane Kiffin staff at Ole Miss, obviously the staff at LSU. And for the large majority of the season was pretty darn good for you at left tackle. It was a guy that the former staff at LSU was really, really high on. You'll remember in 2024, he was your 6th offensive lineman. Like, he was the swing guy that they felt good putting in at all positions, and was, named the heir apparent to Will Campbell, 4th overall pick, to be your left tackle. He was really, really good the first 4 games of the season. It's not to say he doesn't need, some polish, specifically maybe in the running game, but he gave up 1 sack all year long, and it came in the final game, the bowl game. Now, he did have went through a lull there, feeling out in early SEC play as a starting tackle, and then had the injury against Vanderbilt and missed a month. But when he was in there, more often than not, Tyree Adams was really good, and the upside is awesome. And that was a guy who was highly recruited out of Carb, out of New Orleans down there, a 4-star guy. So keep an eye on that one. Again, just as easy as he could pull his name out of the portal and return, he could keep his name in the portal and go. This is all very fluid, as we've come to know and learn with the transfer portal, but that's just kind of the update there. You'll multiple quarterbacks, and we'll see running back, because you're going to need bodies there for sure. And it sounds like things are going very well with with Harlem Berry and a potential return for him to LSU, which is awesome. And a lot of that is, man, he's a Louisiana guy, and the system that Lane Kiffin's going to bring in just fits him so well. You talk about take yourself to the next level. You do that in Lane Kiffin's system, but Tyree Adams, definitely a name to keep an eye on. Shea did mention also Carius Kern, who was another one that early on in the process people thought might return, but the more and more it gets distant, Shea mentioned earlier that probably Carius Kern just does move on and go elsewhere, which from an upside standpoint, man, that's a loss. That was a top 32 player from On3 and Rivals, and a 5-star and all those things, and just an absolute freak athlete. But we'll see. So new staff addition in Austin Shelton, and there you go. That's where everything stands as of right now with the transfer portal and LSU. It officially opens on January the 2nd. Now that I did all of that, I'm sure in the very next segment, somebody will know the transfer portal from LSU, because I just had it one spot early on the rundown. We're going to grab a break. We're going to come back on the other side. A couple different things to get to. One of them, there are now 2 former New Orleans Saints who have reached the final hurdle in Pro Football Hall of Fame induction. We'll tell you who they are. Talk about that next, as well as an honor for an LSU Tiger going forward here into his draft process. That's next here on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, do what injured people in Louisiana have done for more than 30 years. Call Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. 888-8888. It's all 8s. 888-8888. I don't even need to give you the area code, because no matter where you are in the state, it doesn't matter. Just dial 888-8888 for Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Gordon does an awesome job, man. He's a great person. They've been so invested in our communities with all the charitable and service work that they do. They give back into the communities that they represent, no matter what time of year. If it's the bike giveaway for kids around Christmas time, if it's the laptop giveaway around back to school time, if it's the charitable work they do during October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, they're always involved in the community. We tell you all the time, of course, about the G team and what Gordon's done with NIL and the opportunities that he's afforded student athletes. Just a great, great community partner. If you've been injured, you need representation, go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is so—
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Brought to you by Evermore. Drink Evermore, EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. For elite athletes, for someone who just wants a healthier lifestyle, maybe you're a parent, you want a healthier option for your children, Evermore is a great option. I would highly encourage you, bottom line, if you're drinking tap water, don't. Bare minimum, filter your tap water. But the best option is Evermore. This is natural artesian water. It's underground aquifers on the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain, right there in Covington. They dug a well into that aquifer, and I mean, it's literally thousands of years in the making. That's why they call it Mother Nature's masterpiece. That's what they're pulling out of the ground. The only filtration is take like the sediment from the ground out of the water, and it goes right into the bottle. So it never touches air until you uncap it, take that first delicious sip. Learn more where you can buy it, great retailers or online, EVAMOR, evermore.com.
Pro Football Hall of Fame announced its 15 modern era player finalists for 2026 here on Monday evening. And the Saints, for two former New Orleans Saints greats, are on there. Obviously, Drew Brees. Drew Brees, first year on the ballot, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like I think we all know that up to this point. But it's another check mark, another hurdle in the process for Brees. He is a Hall of Fame finalist, and I mean, deservedly so. He's the greatest player in New Orleans Saints history. I mean, you talk about just the franchise, and that is Drew Brees for the New Orleans Saints. Super Bowl champion, multi-time Offensive Player of the Year, still holds several NFL passing records and is second to Tom Brady in all the other ones. There was that time where Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady just traded NFL passing records. He completely redefined what it meant to be a New Orleans Saint, did Drew Brees, and resurrected his own career alongside the city resurrecting itself from Hurricane Katrina. Just everything that Drew Brees means to the franchise, to the city, and the performance on the field is why it is a no doubt slam dunk that he will be a Hall of Famer. But nonetheless, he has to go through the process, and he will be a first ballot, and nonetheless has to go through the process and is doing that. So he is he's officially one of the 15 finalists. Really feels like Brees and Larry Fitzgerald are going to be the two that just are slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famers here. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald is second to Jerry Rice in most categories in receiving. He's arguably, he is the greatest receiver in Cardinals history. So fantastic. So congratulations to Drew Brees there. Jari Evans is the other one. Also, Super Bowl champion, 4-time first-team All-Pro during his playing career, member of the All-Decades team in 2010. Like, Jari Evans eventually is going to hear his name called by the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's going to get the knock on the door, right, if you will. He's out also an assistant offensive line coach currently with the New Orleans Saints as well. So, man, it would just be awesome to see Brees and Evans both go in the same year. I don't know if that's going to happen. This is not the first time that Jari Evans has been a finalist. In fact, he's been a finalist in the last 3 Hall of Fame classes and just hasn't gotten pushed over the top there yet. It will come for him. He just has to wait his turn. But I do think that'd be a really, really cool synergy with, Evans, who was charged with protecting Drew Brees during the greatest era of Saints football with that Super Bowl run and whatnot. I think them going in together, that would be really cool, obviously there. But we'll see, how that does eventually play out. But Jari Evans and Drew Brees, both members of the 15 finalists, the modern era player, what they call it, in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. For what it's worth, the voting process will go forth from here, and then the 3 to 5 member Pro Football Hall of Fame class will be announced at NFL Honors on February the 5th, which, man, could be a really big night for the New Orleans Saints. If you really look at it, you could have, again, Drew Brees is going to be officially announced as an inductee into the Hall of Fame, and Tyler Shuck could potentially also take home Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, which he should. As we talked about earlier in this hour, Tyler Shuck should take home that award. So February 5th, NFL Honors, man, that could be a big night for the New Orleans Saints. We'll see what happens there with Brees and Evans in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And, of course, Tyler Shuck as well. All right. Want to touch on LSU and an honor for a departing Tiger here momentarily. But first, Matt with a message for you.
We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Again, you can log on to firstsouthland.com. We're nearing the end of the year. Maybe you're thinking about that tax write-off. You're buying timber property, recreational timber property could be a great opportunity for a tax strategy. Talk to your CPA to see if that's something that might make sense. Or maybe, right now you're in hunting season and you're tired of sharing that lease. This is a good time to call our friends over at First South Farm Credit to start that process toward owning your own land. It's First South Farm Credit. Go to firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. Land's a finite resource, y'all. It ain't never going down in value and they ain't making more of it. So you want to get your own. First South Farm Credit can help. firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com.
Congratulations to West Weeks. West Weeks has officially accepted an invite to play in the East-West Shrine Bowl. Show off for NFL scouts one more time. That game is January 27th in Frisco, Texas. Man, look, I'm obviously hoping for all the best for Wes Weeks and his future. Really solid player. Of course, came to LSU out of the transfer portal. Ended up spending 4 seasons with the Tigers, though. Redshirted a year ago in order to stick around for one more year. Got to play with both of his brothers in Witt and Zach, including, man, they all got on the field against Western Kentucky at the same time. A first in LSU history. That was awesome. But great to see him come to LSU out of the portal, really improve, develop here, and by the end of his tenure, a starter in his final season, which, again, he took the red shirt in order to do that. Starts 11 games in his final season, 74 stops, led the team actually in TFLs, did West Weeks. All in all, in 4 seasons, 133 total tackles. So really, man, an awesome career for Wes Weeks at LSU. Some really cool moments with his family as well, which is just really awesome. And now he'll head off to the East-West Shrine Bowl. One of multiple Tigers, actually, that will be in that game. Again, it'll be played January 27th in Frisco, Texas. So congratulations to Wes Weeks. An awesome honor, and he accepted the invitation. And, man, here's to hoping that he shows out, gets on the radar of a bunch of NFL scouts, and goes on to a happy, healthy, and prosperous career in the National Football League and reps LSU every single step of the way. If he does that, he'll be featured in our next segment to close this hour. Tigers in the pros. We'll grab a break. We'll come back, and Taylor will take you through that here on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel, two beautiful hotel properties in Baton Rouge, the Watermark downtown, the Renaissance Southtown right there on Bluebonnet. And when it comes to hosting your event, both the Watermark and the Renaissance are perfect. The Watermark is a gorgeous, elegant spot in downtown Baton Rouge. That wedding reception, that smaller gathering, that meeting space, they can do it. They've kept so much of the history and tradition of that iconic building while modernizing it. The Gregory is a great restaurant inside of the Watermark as well. And then, of course, the Renaissance Hotel, Southtown, right there on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. It's more modern. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous hotel property at the Renaissance Hotel where they have meeting space that can accommodate up to 500 people, 7,000 square foot of meeting space, perfectly located right off of Bluebonnet and I-10. It's the Watermark and the Renaissance Hotels in Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient. And the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Shaw and Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Shaw and Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never...
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. In the market for a new vehicle? Might be in the market for a new vehicle? Say it all the time. Just put Volkswagen on your list. So much of the Volkswagen brand is built around having fun. It exudes that when you go to South Point Volkswagen. They're going to work a great deal and they got the best inventory. Remember, if it's on the lot, It's online at southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned. Check their entire inventory online. Work out your financing online. Do it all online at southpointvw.com. Then go see them at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction?
Back here on AFR, Musso in for Moscona. Tuesday show presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
That's my bad. I wanted to end the show early, so I just went ahead and...
Well, no, actually, Taylor, that's my bad because I clipped that live. And that's been playing way more than I needed it to. Okay, anyway, we're going to forget about that and because people have no idea what we're talking about. And you're going to do Tigers in the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 of AFR.
I can find the hotkey.
Right next to the rotator of the bumps. There it is.
Tigers.
Nailed it. Whoop. And it's gone. You wanted the dramatic entrance of
Tigers in the Pros. Yeah. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right. Yeah, sorry about it. We don't talk about important things during the break. Like, we were talking New Year's resolution, dodgeball quotes, the finding the Tigers in the Pros.
I was telling y'all what I was going to make for dinner tonight.
Well, yeah, it wasn't as big of a deal. Musso having burgers. Anybody
really
wondering?
Good. And a big cup of hot chocolate for dessert.
So the LA Rams, they lose a surprising one last night to the Atlanta Falcons, 27-24. But Omar Speights, he did his part. Second on the team in tackles for the Los Angeles Rams. 8 total. On the year, Omar's having a really good season right now. 80 tackles on the year so far. For reference, all of last season, 17-game total, he had 67, and he's only played in 15 games this year so far. So really good second year there.
Real quick, can we briefly talk for a moment about how the Falcons did everything possible to lose that game, even after they blew a 21-point lead and took the lead back?
They should have lost that game.
They let a receiver behind them twice.
I know. And how often does Matthew Stafford miss that throw? Never.
Twice, Taylor. Twice. Puka Nacua almost made the catch of the year on the sideline the third time. God, the Falcons are just comedy. They really are. They looked like they were not going to be happy until they let someone behind them to win that game.
Tutu Atwell, hey, be an athlete, bud. I know the DB's right there. Catch the ball, man. Be an athlete.
Catch that ball.
You get paid money to play football, so do it.
Yeah. Anyway, the Falcons, pure comedy all the time.
Over to the NBA, the Houston Rockets got a win last night, 126-119 over the Indiana Pacers, and former LSU Tiger Tari Eason. He had a pretty good day at the office, 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting, also 8 rebounds. He had 1 assist. He did have a steal and a block as well. Just for reference, on the season right now, Tari Eason averaging 11.5 points and about 5 rebounds per contest. Wrapping it up as we stay in the NBA. The Golden State Warriors took down the Brooklyn Nets, but a familiar face returned to the lineup. Cam Thomas, actually his second game back.
Love that.
This is the second game of a back-to-back. Cam Thomas had been out for over a month with an injury. No big deal. In the 2 games back, 30 points and 13 points. So not bad there for Cam Thomas. Of course, last night he did have 13 points, came off the bench, 19 minutes. Also 5 rebounds, no assists, but he did have a steal as well. The former Tiger averaging about 21.5 points so far here in the young NBA season. That is Tigers in the Pros.
Thank you, Taylor. We appreciate that. It's After Further Review, presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Guys, quick, while we have a few minutes here for the room, how do we feel about the Chargers posting a Drew Brees Hall of Fame finalist thing on their Twitter? Because I see a lot of Saints fans being like, you can't do that. He's not yours, or that's bait, or just all those kind of things.
I always love when a team trolls another fan base. I'm actually for it.
Okay.
I'm also not a diehard Saints fan. If I was, I'd probably feel different.
I think, look, he started his career there. You drafted him. He played multiple years. Yeah, go ahead. You want to send a congratulations? Sure. Paul?
I get it. But
Paul hates it.
Yeah. You can't claim him anymore.
You can hear it. You can just hear it. I get it.
I guess it makes sense.
He hates it so much. I told y'all this. I was scrolling Twitter and I saw it, and I just saw a quarterback in a Chargers uniform, and my first thought was, wait, Phillip Rivers got removed from the ballot. Oh, wait, that's Drew Brees. You don't think about it anymore. You don't think about Chargers Drew Brees. But they did, man. I think it's a nice gesture.
Why not?
The Saints did that for a couple guys last year. who I don't remember their names, who spent like a few years in New Orleans, and then they weren't known for their time with the Saints, but they were like, oh, congratulations, Hall of Famer. Like, why wouldn't you?
I'm okay with it, man. I remember when the Saints signed Drew Brees, like everybody was like, "Oh yeah, pretty good player."
Yeah,
like he'll give you some stability, certainly better than what you have, and nobody saw that coming.
Pretty good player. He was a first ballot Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, should have been a league MVP, but it's fine. We don't need to rehash all of that. He got hosed out of that multiple times, but whatever. How can Drew Brees set an NFL record in passing yards one year and not be the league MVP?
You didn't get enough votes.
Thank you, Taylor. This is just one of the stupidest things ever, that he never won a league MVP, but fine. Anyway, he just went and rewrote the record books instead. Drew Brees, he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. The Chargers, they still love him out there. And they love him in Los Angeles or in San Diego. I don't know. We'll see. Hour number 3, Sports Center, and then hour 3 next on AFR.
AFR.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, ironworkers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour number 3, after further review, off and running here on a Tuesday, the last hour in 2025 for us here at AFR. Musso in for Moscona. We are presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Taylor Sharp, Paul O'Neill, they're along for the ride, and glad to have you along for the ride as well, whether you're already on your New Year's holiday, just continuing from Christmas, whether you're jumping off, or getting off of work, jumping in your car, however you're listening to us, however you're joining us, we greatly appreciate it, and we're looking forward to a great last hour here in 2025 before we send you off into your new year. Pete Fiutak, college football news. He'll be with us in about 14 minutes, preview the college football playoff quarterfinals, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Otter, Jimmy, he's going to be here to close out the day with us with some otterlocks. Tell us what we're betting on tonight and probably give us a play for some of those college football playoff quarterfinal games as well. So plenty to get to here. I want to start though with some New Orleans Saints. I want to start with Saints, and I want to ask a simple question. But that simple question might raise some eyebrows. Did Mickey Loomis and the New Orleans Saints absolutely fleece the market and the league in free agency with one player this year? Like, I know we all like to crap on Mickey. He makes it pretty easy, but we all like to do it. But did he and the Saints front office actually just pull the wool over everybody's eyes in the NFL and nail something in free agency this year? Let's go back to 2024, shall we? 2024, the New Orleans Saints signed Chase Young to a 1-year, $13 million prove-it deal. And then, oh man, we get to the offseason of 24, and Chase Young's hurt, and he's not going to be ready for camp, and he might miss games in the regular season, and the Saints knew about this the whole time. Even when they signed him, it was the procedure that he had to undergo, things of that nature, and they knew about it the whole time. You're sitting there going, what the hell are you doing? You signed a guy to a 1-year prove-it deal, and he might have to wait to get on the field to prove it, and he hasn't at all lived up to the hype that he had when coming out of Ohio State, when the Commanders made him the number 2 pick. The production just hasn't been there. There's been plenty of injuries, not just this one. And you knew about it the whole time. Well, he ends up being ready for the regular season. Fine. Chase Young plays 17 games for the Saints in 2024. And it's just meh. It's okay. 31 tackles, 5.5 sacks. Really kind of came on towards the end. It's like, oh, okay, that's fine. What are you going to do? You're going to re-sign him another 1-year deal, have him test free agency? Nope. The Saints, in March of 2025, signed Chase Young to a 3-year, $51 million deal. It was incentive-laden and heavy, guaranteed signing bonus, all the stuff the Saints normally do to make contracts work in their horrible cap situation that they had at that time. But all in all, it averages out to $17 million a year. And he's hurt again. You're thinking, this is a horrible contract. You gave the guy, you committed yourself to him for 2 more years, $17 million. He's not even playing in the first 5 games of the regular season. And now all of a sudden you look up, and in 11 games, Chase Young is having a career year in just 11 games. And at 26 years old, having him locked up for 2 more seasons on a $51 million contract? Boy, it feels like you got the steal of the century, doesn't it? In free agency, potentially at a big position of need like edge rusher. A position that is so valued in the NFL, so valued that Micah Parsons, when he got hurt for the year, people said their edge rusher, Micah Parsons, ruined the Packers Super Bowl champions. An edge rusher. That's how valued that position is in the NFL. It's misvalued, by the way, too. You have a lot of great edge rushers in this league. But Chase Young, in just 11 games here in 2023, has proven to be, and graded out to be, one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. That's what he's playing like. Let me explain. Here's some numbers for you. Not only has he set a career high in sacks in just 11 games, mind you, 8.5. That pace over a 17-game season would be 13, which would have Chase Young right now in the top 5 in the NFL in sacks. Chase Young, in just 11 games, has graded out as the 32nd, Chase Young is graded out as the 32nd best edge rusher in the NFL per Pro Football Focus. How many teams there in the NFL? 32. Yes, some teams have multiple players on that, like the Texans, Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson are both in the top 5, by the way. So that gets skewed a little bit. But if you have 32 teams and you're grading out as one of the best 32 overall, that's pretty good. When you look just at Chase Young's pass rush grade, he's top 10 in the NFL grading out so far in 2025. He has been awesome, y'all. He has had nary a sniff of an injury since returning from the one that cost him the preseason and the first 5 games of the regular season. And man, it was really looking at a time like that going, is he milking this? Like they didn't put him on IR. So they just let him. He took up a roster spot. All that. What's going on? Shouldn't he be back by now? And Kellen Moore just kept saying, you were going through the process, man. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Boy, that rings true now. They took their time with it. They did it the right way. They got Chase Young healthy, and he has been an absolute freak show for you here over the last 11 games, and in particular, the last 3 games of the season as well, the last 3 that you've played. He's got at least 1 sack in all of them and a touchdown. And that's the other thing about it. It's not just the 8.5 sacks that's the career high for Chase Young as well. No. He is one off equaling his career high in TFLs. He is one off his career high in passes defensed. He has tied his career high in fumble recoveries. Has 2 forced fumbles to go along with that as well. And has racked up his second highest total tackle total. Couldn't think of a better way to say that. Of his career. All in 11 games. And a lot of those career highs, mind you, came in his rookie year when he was the defensive rookie of the year and a Pro Bowler. He has refound that form where you looked at him and said, okay, that's a really solid rookie year. Now he's going to take the next step. And injuries and things of that nature derailed that. But he is taking that next step now. And now if you're the New Orleans Saints, you look at this and you go, okay, you have Carl Granderson locked up. Cam Jordan is a free agent. We'll see what they do if they bring him back on a 1-year deal. But he's at the twilight of his career, even though he's awesome and is leading your team in sacks. And there's 26-year-old Chase Young on a bargain deal. You look at contracts that edge rushers get. Like Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett leads the NFL in sacks right now at 22. In March, his extension was 4 years, $160 million. How about the aforementioned Micah Parsons? Micah Parsons, when he was traded, because Jerry Jones didn't want to pay him, when he was traded to the Packers in August of 2025, he signed a massive extension, 4 years, $186 million. I mean, we could go on and on and on. And you have a guy in Chase Young that right now, at 26 years old, would be top 5 in the league on his pace for a 17-game season in sacks, and you have him on a $51 million contract. That is stealing. And it's another point in looking at this going, the future feels bright for this franchise because now y'all have Chase Young. If Chase Young continues on this trajectory, he stays healthy, which everyone's hoping for, and he continues on this trajectory, which everyone is hoping for. You have him for 2 more seasons, and then when he becomes a free agent in 2028, you could potentially re-sign him, and you found your edge rusher until the end of his career, potentially. Or maybe he continues on this trajectory, and in 2027, you're not quite where you want to be as a team, and you're still looking for assets. Maybe you unload him on somebody and get something in return. Either way, right now, this deal that they made back in March looks a hell of a lot different. And it looks like a complete steal and that they fleeced the market in the league. There's a long way to go. There's still 2 more years on it. But right now, that's where you stand. And you have to feel great because it sets you up for bigger success that you have him on this deal. All that's going to do is allow you to spend elsewhere if you're the New Orleans Saints. When you have a 26-year-old, soon to be 27 in next season, as your, quote-unquote franchise edge rusher. It's not really a franchise position, even though people in the NFL treat it like it, but you know what it is. Edge rusher, set up and ready to go. You can allocate funds that you normally would pay for that elsewhere. This looks like it could be awesome. Hat tip to Chase Young, man. He's worked his ass off to get back to this point, and it's awesome to see him living up to the promise that all of us remember him having when he came out of Ohio State in the draft and went 2nd overall to Washington and burst onto the scene as a rookie. That didn't go anywhere. He just had to work through some things. And the Saints were the team that struck while the iron was hot. And they believed in him enough to give him $17 million a year back in March when they had only seen him for 1 year and another injury cropped up. But right now, they look real smart about it. So, as much as we like to throw shots at the Saints front office and their GM, as it sits right here, this looks like a job well done. We'll see how it continues out. He's got to stay healthy and keep on this upward trajectory. But, man, it's hard not to be excited about Chase Young and his future with the New Orleans Saints and what that means for the New Orleans Saints' future as well. Career year for Chase Young. All right, we're going to grab a break. We're going to come back on the other side. The college football playoff quarterfinals are New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. 4 great matchups. We'll preview all of them with Pete Fiutak of College Football News next on AFR.
After further review.
Christmas is in the rearview mirror, and maybe you didn't get what you want, so how about you gift it to yourself? Go by Clegg's Nursery, any of the 4 locations, and they got tons of options. Yeah, they still got a great selection of poinsettias, a lot of beautiful plants that love this cooler weather. And remember, this is still the perfect time to go plant that fruit tree, that citrus tree that love this cold weather. So get by Clegg's Nursery, an amazing selection at any of the 4 locations. You know where they are. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local, shop local. And yes, they still have an amazing selection of outdoor decor. The tuned wind chimes we tell you about all the time, the bird feeders, the hummingbird feeders, all of the different doormats and garden decor. They've got it at any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. So do what I've told you to do for, a decade now. Buy local, shop local, and be sure to tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
I'm on your lock, Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit Louisiana.
Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
All right, back here after further review, presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Musso in for Moscona as we lead you into the new year, last show of the of 2025 for us, as we're off tomorrow. But tomorrow also brings the start of the quarterfinal round in the college football playoff. Pete Fiutak, College Football News on Twitter at Pete Fiutak. Good enough to join us to break it all down. Pete, we appreciate the time as always, man. How are you?
Everything's going all right. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. All right, Pete, before we get into the quarterfinals, bowl game of the year so far in college football has been what?
I mean, they've all been bad. So for the
Fair.
most part, I guess the Celebration Bowl, does that count? Because that was kind of fun to start things off. I mean, it depends on, were you into, the point spread? Because if you were, the New Mexico Bowl with San Diego State and North Texas turned out to be an all-timer, lots of scoring, lots of fun, lots of big plays. But this bowl season's been awful. I mean, there's, who cares? I mean, I do, because, I have to. But, there's just nothing here that they're just okay, they're having some games and they're running out there in uniforms. But, all right, these are true exhibitions this year more than ever. Last year, the bowl season was actually pretty entertaining. So far, these have been just kind of meh. There's not a lot of scoring. There's not a lot of, all the players who are there probably aren't going to be playing there next year in big roles, at least for the big teams. So there's not a whole lot to take away from it, except for maybe right now Illinois, Tennessee, for stuff going forward with USC and Lincoln Riley just as a thing for the off season. So we'll see going forward if there's something good in the next couple days or so.
And that's why we all focus in so much on the college football playoff now, and why expansion continues to be a topic and will continue to be and will continue to happen. But right now we're at 12 and we're into the quarterfinal round, and we've got 4 really, really good matchups. This is going to be interesting because last season, in the first season of the expanded, all 4 teams that had the bye They lost. Will history repeat itself? Will it not? Let's start on New Year's Eve. Miami, Ohio State, rematch of the 2002 National Championship, although they have met since then. Buckeyes are a big favorite here in this game in the Cotton Bowl. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, start with that. They're not going to be a lot of points. I mean, the Ohio State defense is the real deal. I mean, lost in the loss to Indiana was that the defense showed up and was great. The offense just didn't take it out of second gear. So I do think the attitude with Ohio State with the Big Ten title loss was like, okay, fine, whatever. Like they didn't seem to be very concerned about it or really upset about it. They're like, okay, whatever. And actually, as it turns out, they won by losing the Big Ten championship because forgetting how good these teams are, Indiana gets the 9 seed and Ohio State gets the 10 seed because they don't reseed this dumb thing. So there's zero advantage for Indiana winning the Big Ten championship now. So I do think that Ohio State wins. I think it's closer than 9.5. I just don't think there are going to be a lot of points in this. I don't think the Ohio State offensive line is going to hold up the Miami defensive line. But Ohio State, Miami's got the talent. Miami's got enough NFL guys in the starting 22 where if they win, I will not be shocked, but I do think Ohio State wins.
More or less points than Miami, Texas A&M?
More. Yeah, that was fascinating. You know what? That was an entertaining game.
It was.
It was in its own weird way because the stakes were obviously high and it mattered and everyone was trying and it was, it was so close. It was just one play. And it was crazy was that Miami just never had to break character. They never had to unleash, Carson Beck. They never had to do anything, offensively. All they had to do was just keep their offense, just not screwing up. And then they had the one big moment that worked, and that's all they needed. And it turns out, Texas A&M couldn't do anything to counteract that. Which, I will a professional segue into what's next. I'm guessing here. I don't think the SEC is that good this year. I will be shocked if we have any more than one SEC team doing anything, and that's only because of SEC versus SEC. So we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. But I do think that the Big Ten is going to look pretty good. Except, I think it would be kind of fun though if we had 3 Power 4 conference champions and Miami. So you had 4 conferences represented. That would be fun, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Let's move to New Year's Day. We will get to the SEC, but let's start with the first game of the day on Thursday. That's the Orange Bowl, Oregon and Texas Tech. Pete, I think that the Red Raiders are the sneakiest team left in this thing. I get it. They come from the Big 12. It's not a strong conference, believe me. I understand. But that defense, man, certainly feels for real and has all season long. Can Texas Tech pull the upset over Oregon and Miami?
Yeah, here's my professional expert take. I don't know. This one's impossible. This one, I don't have it. I mean, because Oregon, they lose to Indiana at home. They struggle against Iowa. They struggle against Penn State. They struggled against the good teams that they had to play. And Texas Tech's a very good team. And so we don't know because they didn't play anybody. Like you said, Texas Tech did not play anybody non-conference schedule who mattered. And so we're going off of what? That they blew out Utah? Okay, Utah is pretty good. That's fine. I mean, the Arizona State loss kind of came because Baron Morton wasn't there, but still they showed up late. This defensive front is the absolute real deal. These are the transfers that they got are real guys. These are NFL caliber pass rushers, and I think they're going to show up large against Oregon. But again, I'm kind of believing that we're in a new world now. The Big Ten just has more resources, more talent, more money. I won't be shocked if Oregon ends up playing for the national championship, but I'm kind of with you. I'm sheepishly going Texas Tech, but I have no handle on this game other than I think it's going to be close and fun.
All right. Well, again, you've kind of segued into it, led into it a little bit in the Big Ten. So I think I know how this next one's going to go, but it's the Rose Bowl, Alabama and Indiana. Look, is not often, actually it probably hasn't happened. I maybe should have looked this up, that Alabama's been a touchdown underdog in the playoff, but that's where they are. 7-point favorites, the Hoosiers. They've been awesome all year. Obviously, Heisman Trophy winner in Fernando Mendoza. Alabama is obviously flawed, yet they just keep finding ways to win, but clock striking midnight in Pasadena?
It's so weird that you say that on every side. For which team? I know.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, because Alabama hasn't been good.
No.
They were great. They played really well against Tennessee. That was 2 months ago. They weren't, who'd they beat that was, LSU's obviously was offensively challenged, and Auburn didn't play all that well. And, they played awful, and they got absolutely stumped in the SEC championship. And then, for 14 minutes or whatever it was, Oklahoma was doing whatever they wanted. And then you had the missed pass, the dropped punt, and then the pick six. And then Oklahoma just went in the tank, which Indiana's not going to do. Indiana's not going to have that mental breakdown that the Sooners had. So in a weird way, again, I'm not buying into the SEC this year, and I'm certainly not buying into Alabama. But they've got NFL talent. They've got more guys than Indiana does. I mean, Indiana's good. The schemes are amazing. The coaching is great. I do sort of think when you say clock strikes midnight, there's a little bit of an Oregon thing from last year. It's sort of since happening with Indiana. So I'm picking Indiana, but I don't think it's going to be a wipeout. I think Alabama's going to keep this way closely.
How real is Indiana in this thing, Pete? Because, I mean, that you opened up a bigger conversation there, because it's kind of similar to what we talked about with Texas Tech. They have the win at Oregon, which is an awesome win, and obviously the win over Ohio State. But after that, it was really a bunch of meh on their schedule. I don't want to take away from those 2 wins. Those are probably the 2 best wins in college football, arguably. But this is still uncharted territory for them. They were in the playoff last year, got blown out at Notre Dame. Now they've had to sit on this for a month.
Yep.
And they're facing Alabama.
Yeah. So they're good. They're not going to melt down. I think they'll be just fine. But, here's my problem. Who didn't play a bunch of this? I mean, look at this whole gauntlet thing that Alabama supposedly played. None of those teams were good. Tennessee didn't beat anybody. Vanderbilt didn't beat anybody. All these SEC teams beat teams that aren't going bowling or didn't have offenses or struggled. So, who has this great schedule out who's left in this thing that's oh, yeah, well, they beat this team. Ohio State, they didn't beat anybody.
No.
Ohio State, I mean, they lose to Indiana. Michigan's not very good, So look at okay, fine, they beat Texas, but that was week 1. You don't really count that or anything. So when you ask how real it is, it's real. I mean, Indiana's good, but it's I kind of count. I already comped it to Oregon of last year. We'll also comp it to Oregon under Chip Kelly when they were really good and they were national championship mix. But that was more of their little your goofy scheme that they had. I'm not going to say that Indiana's goofy scheme because they have a great coaching and they just do everything right. But they don't quite have the NFL guys that a Georgia defense has or Ohio State has across the board.
College football is the best, isn't it, Pete? For the first 4 weeks to 5 weeks of the season, we all asked the same question. Who's good? And the answer was, I don't know. Is anybody good? Now we're here in December kind of asking the same question and trying to determine who's good in a playoff that everybody hates the format of. So, it's college football.
Here's the crazy
the best
part about what you're saying is who's good? Well, last year we knew Ohio State was going to win the national championship. We knew that in February. They were just better than everyone else. And actually, we kind of knew Michigan was probably going to win the national championship. This year, it's the beginning of the season, we knew Penn State was going to win the national championship. Nope. They had everybody back. This was supposed to be their year up. And, maybe Texas, was going to be good. I never bought into Clemson, but they were top 5. So it was kind of crazy. And then, when you kind of mentioned the thing about the college football playoff and everyone hating it, well, think of it this way. Even with the 12-team playoff, you're only talking about less than, 11% of college football teams make the playoff. Half the NFL teams get in. When you've cut the playing games, it's something crazy like 69% of all NBA teams get in. Something like 39% of all the NCAA basketball teams get into the tournament. So even with 12 teams, and it does need tweaking, this is the toughest tournament in sports to kind of win because it's hard to get into this thing in the first place, much less win. You can't have a cheap national championship here. You're not going to have a Cinderella story. It's only the biggest of the big that's going to win this thing. And it'll keep growing. We know that. I mean, hell, probably maybe even by next year it'll grow again. Last game, Sugar Bowl, the nightcap. Ole Miss and Georgia, they'll tangle SEC on SEC. I chuckle because Lane Kiffin actually might be in attendance in this game with the Louisiana governor. Which, if you needed any more drama surrounding this, Georgia, of course, lost in the Sugar Bowl a year ago in this round. Ole Miss trying to make the improbable run with Pete Golding at the helm and
and 6 current LSU assistants. It's just crazy. This was a dandy of a game in the regular season, but, man, Georgia feels like a much better team than they were just a month ago as well.
But again, they look like a much better team because they played a bunch of teams. With that said, I know I've been dogging the SEC. I do think Georgia's that's one of those teams where, okay, they didn't have to play that many great teams except maybe Alabama technically. And they did beat Georgia Tech, but the offense didn't show up. But that defense is really just that good. So I do kind of think that there's a little bit when it comes to a Georgia or an Ohio State where doing what they've done over the last few years. All right, they got through the preseason. Now it's game on. Now it matters. So I do think that there's an element to this team that's about to turn it up a few notches, especially like you said, after losing early last year. I do think that Ole Miss got their win, in the first round. They exercised. There was the Lane Kiffin game. They wanted to show, we can win without Lane Kiffin, and okay, it's fine. So they got by Tulane, no problem. That's probably the ceiling. The offense is obviously great. I think that defense is going to run out of gas like it did in the first game against Georgia. And I do think it's going to be fun for about a half, and then the Georgia defense clamps down hard in the second half.
It'll certainly be interesting. I'll tell you one thing, though. Tracking your picks, you're not buying into the bye week, hurting the teams this year like it did. You had Ohio State.
Well, remember last year we had Oregon, not Oregon, but we did have Oregon, but we had Boise State and Arizona State. So it's kind of a different deal than we have this year. This year, I mean, all 4 of these, like I just made my picks, whatever. If all 4 go the completely opposite way, I won't be shocked. I wouldn't be totally stunned if it's Alabama and Miami in this thing. We have a great quarterfinals because all 8 of these teams are good enough to win in this round.
And that's why we pay attention to this a little bit more than bowl season these days. He is Pete Fiutak, College Football News on Twitter at Pete Fiutak. Y'all get over there, follow him, read his stuff. He does a great job. Pete, we always appreciate the time, man. Happy New Year and enjoy the football. We'll link up again in 2026.
Absolutely. Have a great couple days here.
You do the very same. That is Pete Fiutak of College Football News. This is After Further Review here on a Tuesday. A couple segments left here for us in 2025 before we take off New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We will be back with you here on January 2nd for all the chaos and goodness and despair that the transfer portal will bring to so many around the college football world, and we cannot wait to bring that to you here on AFR. So we'll do that after taking off a couple of days. Right now, we'll grab a break. We'll come back on the other side with more. Still got to get to otterlocks. Stick around. I almost forgot. We have to hit a live read first. So here's Matt.
Brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. When we talk about Relief Windows every day, I always say windows, doors, siding. And now shutters as well. They do your indoor shutters. Same thing as the windows. Custom made, measured to fit your windows, custom fit for your windows, lifetime warranty on your windows, your shutters. But Brandon, you often hear say their number one product is customer satisfaction. And that's not just a catchy line. That's not a cliche phrase. Have an experience with Relief Windows and you'll understand. They go to the ends of the earth to make sure their customers are thrilled with the work they do. As a matter of fact, Relief Windows never takes $1 from you. You will not, no deposit, no down payment. They take all the risk. They will not take $1 until you're thrilled with the work they do. Who else does that? Only Relief Windows. Check them out online at ReliefWindows.com.
Okay, now we're going to hit our break. We'll come back with more. Still have to get to otterlocks to wrap up our final otterlocks of 2025. How about that? It's been a pretty good year for Jimmy over there, giving us some plays all throughout the seasons. And so we'll wrap up the show with that. We have more next here on AFR. Stick around.
After further review.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
It is my pleasure this week to welcome our new partner onto After Further Review, Our Lady of the Lake. Of course, great partnership as well as the official championship health partner of LSU. When you think who takes care of the LSU athletes, well, it's Our Lady of the Lake and the physicians there. Game-changing care, keeps athletes at their best, builds stronger, healthier Louisiana for all of us at every level. I've told you about my experience throughout my life living in Baton Rouge at Our Lady of the Lake, from volunteering at the Ronald McDonald Playroom to helping raise funds through so many different fundraising efforts for the standalone Children's Hospital to taking my son to see specialists there at Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, to my own personal health. My GP is Dr. Kurt Chastain with Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health.
It's good enough for the LSU athletes. It's good enough for me and you, of course. It's Our Lady of the Lake. You can learn more at ololrmc.com/LSU.
All right, welcome back in after further review here on a Tuesday. Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We have a quick segment here before we can get to otterlocks with Jimmy. I want to kind of do a little exercise dealing with the transfer portal and one position in particular for LSU, and that is quarterback. Because, yes, the offensive line is a huge need for LSU, and they're going to address that, and we all understand. We did a whole segment on that on Monday's show. But quarterback, you also need multiple guys there, and you can't win without a quarterback. You need really good quarterback play. Just look at the college football playoff this year. 6 of the 12 teams transfer quarterbacks. Taylor, hop on with me here, and let's do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present to you your Billy Glasscock. You're the LSU GM. You're looking at the transfer portal, all the quarterbacks. We've talked about some of them here on today's show with Shea. We've talked about them just in general as well. Who's your pick? If you could have your guy or pick, since they need multiple, your guy that you want as the LSU quarterback going forward out of the transfer portal, who would you take?
Byron Brown from South Florida. If you needed me to take one guy, he's 6'3", he's 230, and everyone's going to say, well, he's a run-first quarterback. I get it, 1,000 yards, double-digit rushing touchdowns. So he threw for 3,100 yards and 28 touchdowns this year. He was really good. Now, is he attached to Alex Golish? Probably, but, I mean, if you told me I could have anybody, that's probably who I'm going to get. I think a guy like that is, sky's the limit for him in a Lane Kiffin offense.
Yeah, and again, that's the point. That's the point of this exercise, because you and I were talking about this earlier. It does feel like with this quarterback class that there are certain guys who are just following their head coach. He's one of them, especially with Deuce Knight entering the transfer portal earlier from Auburn and leaving them with 0 scholarship quarterbacks. Writing on the wall probably there. Same thing with Mestamaker from North Texas. Everyone, it just feels like he's following Eric Morris up to Oklahoma State. So that does creep out, but I don't disagree with you. He looks like the best dual threat guy in the portal right now. For me, it's a guy who I think would probably technically maybe be the second best dual threat for what it is, and it's Sorsby from Cincinnati. The caveat with him is, obviously, it feels like, and has really ever since he's entered the portal, that he's destined for Texas Tech. But, man, I look at him, and it's just hard not to be over the moon infatuated with what Brendan Sorsby could potentially be in a Lane Kiffin offense. And look, again, this is just opinion-based. I'm not telling you they're interested. I'm not telling you there's been conversations. None of that. But this is a guy who threw for 2,800 yards, 27 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and ran for 580 yards and scored 9 touchdowns on the ground. You comp that to Trinidad Chambliss. He ran for just over 500 yards and 6 touchdowns, something like that, on the ground. That's really exactly what you need in Lane Kiffin's offense. Sorsby brings that. And he already the improvement he made game over game this season, from the opener against Nebraska, where he was just not great at all, to ending up being, like I said, 27 touchdowns to 5 picks. You love the turnover ratio. In a Kiffin offense, the completion percentage is just naturally going to go up because there's so many high percentage throws that are there, and the yards would follow. I think he's fantastic. The problem is it does seem like he's ticketed for Texas Tech. I want to bring up Deuce Knight to you a little bit here, Taylor, because we talked about this earlier, and this is fascinating because he will have all 4 years left. I mean, he's redshirting. He played in 2 games. I'm curious if he would be open to going somewhere and sitting, being a backup for a year, learning the system, and then having 2 years or 3 years to be the starter. The reason I say I'm curious if he would take that is because he technically had that opportunity at Auburn. If they go in and he sits behind Brown, who everyone expects him obviously to bring in, right, from USF, why not just stay there if you're there? Or does he want to go in and be ready to start? And I don't know. I think Deuce Knight is uber talented, but I don't know if that's technically necessarily what LSU's looking for, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like
played
he ends
3
up
games.
LSU, 2
games.
Played in 2 games.
And he was good. I mean, 68% completion.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, no interceptions, but you can't bring in a guy with 2 games and expect him to start right away. You can't do it.
Also, those 2 games, one was against Mercer, and the other was also against directional school U. Forgive me, I don't remember who, but I mean Mercer was when he started, and he tied the program record for touchdowns with 6 total touchdowns. I mean, yeah, he was awesome. But that's just interesting. Ball State was the other game. So
Not exactly.
He's played 2 games in college. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he has designs on going somewhere starting just based on him leaving Auburn. And I would like if you could get him here to do that, sit 1 year behind a starter, learn Lane Kiffin system, to go out. Oh, I think the sky's the limit. I just don't know if that's, what he has in mind there potentially. Other than that, man, I mean, we talked about it earlier. C.J. Bailey. I talked about it earlier in that segment when LSU, they brought over Austin Shelton from NC State. Bailey's in the portal. What would you think about that?
I like C.J. Bailey. I mean, he's obviously a dual threat. He's a guy he's played in a lot of games. Moose, when you look at the portal, it just seems like there's a lot of guys that do one thing really well, but you kind of want more of a dual threat. Like you and I were talking about Josh Hoover earlier today.
Yeah.
Josh Hoover could throw the football. Problem is Josh Hoover had 4 yards rushing this year. Yeah. He can't move at all. Now, I mean, there's a guy out there like a Rocco Becht who he's been kind of an average starter. Now, 8 rushing touchdowns back-to-back seasons, which is good. And, yeah, his numbers were down, but Iowa State's banged up. But you're only going to have him 1 year.
Right.
Now, if you brought him in, he'd be a 1-year rental. Could you bring in a younger guy, to sit behind him for a year? In a perfect world, sure. But, I mean, when you look at some of the top guys, like Mestamaker, Oklahoma State, but a little bit down the list, I'm going to throw this name at you. I've mentioned it to you a little bit. I don't know how much we've actually talked about it, though. Colton Joseph.
Oh, yeah, from Old
Dominion.
Now,
he's from Old Dominion. A lot of people are going to brush that off. Trinidad Chambliss is from Ferris State. Okay, let's understand that. Around 60% completion, 2,600 yards, 21 touchdowns, 10 picks. So not eye-popping numbers. But on the ground, Colton Joseph, 1,000 yards rushing and 13 touchdowns on the ground for Old Dominion. And he's a 2-year starter in that program. That's a guy that, look, I mean, maybe he's a little bit under the radar, but he kind of fits that system. Is he number 1 on their leaderboard? No, but if you swing and miss on some of these bigger guys, that's an option.
It is an option, and it's an intriguing option. And, I mean, look, the passing numbers don't bother me because in Lane's offense, that would be fine if you want to go after a guy like Colton Joseph. I mean, Jake Coker, y'all. I mean, Blake Sims was a running back, and then he was a 3,400-yard passer. Like, it happens. There's very high percentage throws. It's about going in the right place with the ball, all those things. The running aspect is definitely interesting, and I'm a huge proponent of that in today's college football. I mean, good Lord, you need that to keep defense. I mean, just look how much trouble it's given LSU's defense, and LSU's defense was really, really good this year, and that hurts. Like, it's massive, and that is shown to play in Lane's offense in the past. So, man, we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there under the radar, and the names you all know, like Sorsby and Levitt and, guys like that. So, but it does feel like there's a certain crop of quarterbacks who are just tied to, I mean, you mentioned Rocco Becht. Does he end up at Penn State?
Yeah, Matt Campbell's moving on.
Right, like, does he just follow his coach who he's been with for 4 seasons? 4 seasons, right? For 4 seasons, 3 of them starting. So, I mean, maybe. It's going to be very interesting. One thing's for sure, they need multiple here. Just get back on Twitter, find the next Division II guy, bring him in, and make the playoff. It worked once. Why can't it work again? We'll see. It'll certainly be something very, very interesting to follow with LSU, Lane Kiffin, and the portal, which officially opens on January 2nd. We're going to grab a break, come back on the other side. We will wrap up the show with otterlocks. Wrap up 2025 with otterlocks. That's next on AFR.
AFR.
If you fill up Tiger Stadium 15 times, that'd be roughly 1.5 million people. That's how many realtors there are in the United States. Darren James ranked number 14 in the country when it comes to the numbers of homes sold. That's Wall Street Journal's Real Trends list. Think about what I just said. Fill up Tiger Stadium 15 times, and of all those people, Darren James ranked number 14. You need to get to a closing table. Need to sell your home fast for the most amount of money. You need the absolute best customer service experience with constant communication and results. Well, you need Darren James. So, call Darren. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666. That's Darren Sell. Or go to agent225.com, agent225.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
All right, closing out 2025 here on AFR. Musso in for Moscona. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight and maybe for the coming days. It's time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
All right, one game already in progress. Otter put out the Illini, Illinois, in the Music City Bowl on LouisianaSports.net earlier, 7-7. You were getting Illinois +3, so that's in action. Otter, how are you?
Good, man. Just kicked a field goal with 20 seconds to go. Illinois up 10-7.
Perfect.
Probably going to the halftime, so might be a little half middle on that one. I just took a little +2.5 on Tennessee for about 25% of my bet. Tonight you got in the Alamo Bowl, you got the USC and TCU. USC, it's been going between 4.5 and 5.5. Currently at 4.5 right now. USC's quarterback, Judge Maiava, will play. His top target, the Litnikoff Award winner, will not play. Just the opposite for TCU. Hoover should be a pretty popular prospect in the transfer portal at quarterback. He is out for tonight, but McAllister, their number one receiver, is playing. We can just go with the starting quarterback to go with this in Jordan Maeva for the USC Trojans. We're going to take the boys of Troy in the state of Texas minus 4.5. Got some earlier picks for you tomorrow, Musso.
All right.
11 a.m. Vanderbilt in Iowa.
1 minute remaining.
You know, Vanderbilt there. Eli Sowers is out for Iowa. Pretty much everybody is playing. So one of the three finalists for the Joe Moore Award, their offensive line, we think they're going to lean on that offensive line, keep it close. All of 4 losses, they either were leading in the fourth quarter or tied. Close game, take the points plus Iowa. And then the other game, Duke with Darian Mensah. Mensah is playing. They have a lot of players playing for them tomorrow. We're going to take Duke minus 3 in the early game, so 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Where are you in Handy tomorrow, Otter?
Roca Pizzeria on Government Street in Mid-City.
Y'all get over there and ring in the new year with Handy and Ott live at lunch, 11 to 1 here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Otter, we appreciate it. Happy New Year. Good luck.
Happy New Year. Good luck.
That is Jimmy Ott with Otterlocks. USC tonight and tomorrow, Iowa and Duke. He also gave out the Creighton Blue Jays minus 5.5. We'll see you next year.
AFR.
Your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. One of the things about Supper Club that I love is if you want to go to Supper Club and be a baller, you can do it. You want to go to Supper Club and order a $5,000 bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, you can do it. You want to go have $400 shots of cognac, you can do it. You can have experiences at Supper Club that usually are reserved for Las Vegas and New York and Paris and Abu Dhabi. Like, that's here in Baton Rouge. But the thing you got to remember as well, if you want to go to Supper Club and have the best steak of your life and have a few appetizers, a dessert, bottle of wine, you can do it as affordably as any other restaurant in town. But the experience at Supper Club is unmatched. Introduced open seating at the bar, first come, first serve. So if you knock off of work, you want to head by Supper Club, you can walk in without a reservation, see if you can grab a bar stool or a table by the bar as well. Have a great dinner, maybe cocktail, close some business. Book your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.